Hello everybody, I am not dead yet, and today I am discussing the Sigma male Grindset meme. While sure, the memes are absolutely hilarious, the popularity of this meme and the fact that it's gotten more popular over the years and seems to be pushed more and more, I take issue with that because I take issue with the mindset behind it. The general whole Sigma male Grindset, or Sigma male things in general, at its base is not a bad idea. It's just the idea of valuing yourself, gaining more skills, and becoming a useful member of society, and focusing on yourself to become the best version of yourself possible, and that is great. However, with it being pushed so much on a ton of different people, more specifically in the fitness space, you see the whole Sigma male thing, or Sigma male Grindset thing, all over the fitness space, on Instagram posts and reels and shorts and everything on YouTube. I think the message has generally become twisted, and it is no longer about focusing on yourself to achieve the best version of yourself, so that you can offer that up to others, but it's become this massive toxic work mindset where there is nothing but the work and the fruits of your labor. And as somebody who has sacrificed a lot for what he does, I greatly discourage that kind of mindset. That kind of mindset is frankly not healthy in the slightest and will not lead you to the fulfillment you are looking for. I think a lot, especially when it comes to the fitness industry, I think a lot of very broken and fragile young men come into the gym and the kind of fitness space in order to try and find themselves and build themselves up, and as they start doing that, they become more susceptible to these kind of predatory ideas that kind of sink into them, and it becomes kind of twisted because of their own insecurities, and then when they pass the message on to other people, it becomes this big, massive, twisted game of telephone, where the original message is just work on yourself and become the best version of yourself. Don't rely on other people for your validation. Learn to find value inherently within yourself, to what seems almost like encouraging people to push those close to them away because they are distractions from their grind set. And first of all, I don't think a lot of these people who say they're on their grind set, who say they are working hard as hard as they say they are. I think a lot of this people who really push how much they grind, how much they work, I think a lot of it is just talk to make themselves seem like they're working, to make themselves seem more important than they actually are, which again plays into that insecurity. But even if they are working that hard, that grind set mentality, what it's become at this point is essentially you should work yourself to death, and that any friends, family, loved ones, girlfriends, whatever, is just simple distraction from you working yourself to death.
Listen to me and you listen well. Are you behind on your credit card bills? Good, pick up the phone and start dialing. Is your landlord ready to evict you? Good. Pick up the phone and start dialing. Does your girlfriend think you're a fucking worthless loser? Good. Pick up the phone and start dialing. I want you to deal with your problems by becoming rich.
I can't spend time with my friends because that takes away from my grind. I gotta get that paper, chase the bag, and whatever the hell other stupid things people say. And honestly speaking, this mentality isn't just exclusive to men. I see it a lot with women as well, with the whole, girl boss thing. I mean, what's the female version of the meme? Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss, or whatever. And
Okay, Ethan the editor here, hopping in to clarify that I have no idea what meme he's referring to. Gaslight, grind, bitch, grill, something. I've never heard of it before, so I can't put in a visual, but yeah, drink a gallon a day.
I think a lot of it ties in to hookup culture as well, because like I said, this whole thing, this whole grind culture encourages detachment. You want to get away from your loved ones because they are a distraction from what's really important. And what is really important? Material things, getting that money, grinding up your status, your social credit, and your money so that you can become successful. What do you define as successful? Having a lot of money, having a lot of power? Really? And you think that's gonna fulfill you? I said it before. in my video responding to the whole gas station dilemma with Greg Doucette, where I think that people now are becoming more and more proud of the fact that they are antisocial, and because of that we are losing our social skills and our ability to socialize, which ironically enough, you actually, if you're going to climb the corporate ladder, if you actually want to become an alpha male or a sigma male or a girl boss or whatever the hell, if you want to be a high value member of society, you need social skills. You need to be able to build and develop those connections, genuine connections, because at the end of the day, bosses, and I learned this from people who have kind of climbed the social ladder, generally like to hire people whom they connect with, whom they can see themselves working with, and whom they get along with. So at the end of the day, you need to be able to form those connections. So pushing people away, actively severing connections, is inhibiting your grind set, your ability to become the true Sigma male. But I genuinely think that this toxic mindset of pushing everybody away in order to further focus on your goals or your aspirations, one, is due to immense insecurity, whether or not these people have been hurt by others in the past and do not want to have the possibility of that happening again. And they believe that in focusing on building themselves up to be that Sigma male, they will be the ones in power, and then they will be the ones that will be able to do that to others, especially when you talk about alpha or Sigma or high value males in a dating sense. It links back up to that hookup culture where there are no attachments. But at the end of the day, it's those attachments that will get you where you need to go, because you are not always going to be successful. It is not always going to be an easy ride. And let me tell you, from somebody who's been put through the absolute ringer by himself, it is hell to pay when you are going through it all and you look around and say, where the hell are people to help me? What gets you through those difficult times oftentimes are the connections you make with other people, and that isn't just connections with friends and family. It's your ability to connect with other people. Maybe you fall on financial ruin. Maybe your business is struggling, so you reach out to someone with a little bit more money, ask for a loan, or ask to partner up with them. And so they partner up with you because they trust you, they're a good friend, and you guys grow together, and eventually you build your businesses together. If I remember correctly, Microsoft actually helped out Steve Jobs when Apple was going bankrupt, right? And yet people think that friends and family and connections will weaken them. No, it is specifically those connections that will make you stronger. And ultimately, when it comes to that whole insecurity of not wanting to be hurt again, the only way you can truly find fulfillment is risk. It's risk. And this whole grind set thing, how many of you are actually taking risks? And what are you grinding for? Because that's the question here. I don't think that pushing people away, like it is encouraged in all of these things. You want to be tough. I don't need a man. I can rely. I'm a strong woman who doesn't need a man. I don't need men. A woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle. And then you have men on the opposite end of the aisle. Oh, women are all just whatever nowadays. They just want to take my money. I've talked to so many men that do not want, are not interested in marriage nowadays because they're scared of women taking their money. They're all just so focused on, I'm just gonna build myself up and grind. I genuinely believe that if you are pushing people away from you, you will not be able to find the fulfillment and satisfaction you desire in life. I genuinely believe that. Hell, it could be argued that when taken to the extreme, this form of self-destructive behavior could be a type of subconscious self-harm, where the individual pushes other people away and further isolates himself, yet justifies it by saying, oh, this is for a reason, I'm doing this to help myself in the future, when in reality it's active self-sabotage. Because it's shown that when people have those around them to rely on, they actually live longer because it helps them deal with the stresses of everyday life. And so by further isolating themselves and pushing people away, it's not just self-destructive, as it can obviously harm things like your mental and whatever, but it's ultimately self-sabotaging, which could set you up for failure later on down the line. Again, I am somebody who has sacrificed a lot for boxing, and I made it pretty far in the amateurs, right? I made it to the nationals. I made it to the top of my country, and I sacrificed a lot to get there. But through and as well, even education-wise, I was the top of my class in a lot of my classes in high school, taking the international baccalaureate courses. If you don't know what those are, it's basically like AP courses, but even more difficult. It's a program that was developed for military children so that they would have the same curriculum around the world, and now it's just a massive, really, really difficult advanced courses. You take university level courses in grade 12, and I was at the top of my class in a lot of those. I graduated valedictorian of my high school class in the IB program in my second language. I sacrificed a lot for all of that quote-unquote success, but let me tell you a couple of secrets. No one cares. No one really gives a shit. It's impressive on a resume, and yes, it can help further you in life. I'm not saying school is unimportant. Anyone that tells you school is not important or that you shouldn't go to college or university is an idiot. Don't listen to them. You need to have some form of backup. But at the end of the day, the vast majority of people don't care about the long list of accomplishments you can list down your arm or that you have hanging up on your wall, because everybody else is so focused on their own lives that it's hard for them to care about people that aren't in their immediate circle. Who are you trying to impress? Really, that's the question. Really, with all of these, who are you trying to impress? Ask yourself that. Because at the end of the day, I learned through all that struggle, all that pushing people away, and I didn't even actively try and push people away. It was just an end result of the fact that I was working so hard. But through it all, I learned that there's no point in life experience if you have nobody to experience life with. Because at the end of the day, for the vast majority of people, who cares what you accomplish? What does it matter if you accomplish? You have all this money, success, and names of achievements that you can run down your arm a mile wide. Who cares if you're alone? What does it matter if you have no one to share it with? And, you know, you hear a lot of people say that, and how like money can't buy you happiness, and everyone's like, oh yeah, it's easy to say for people that have money, and well, I do agree, you know, you need money. I think it's important to also remember that like those material things will not bring you the fulfillment you desire, that we all desire. I think that it's one of the reasons why people say it's lonely at the top. Now, I don't necessarily agree with the lonely at the top analogy, because I do think that there is a little bit of pride in achieving things that others could not, and that you join a select group of people that can. But at the same time, if you are absolutely alone, if you threw away everybody, what does it matter? Like, sure, you accomplish great things, but what does it matter if you're celebrating by yourself? Who cares other than you? And sometimes it's the, like, I'm someone who lives for a lot of the little things in life. And to me, the little things in life are what make life worth living. And again, at the end of the day, a lot of times it's our connections that give us strength. It's the people that support us, that allow us to push through when we never thought we could. Here's a random example. A father who is dead tired but gets up every day to provide for his family. Or even a boxer who drops down on the mat but hears his friends and, you know, maybe girlfriend cheering him on and decides to get back up for them because he doesn't want to disappoint them. People make fun of the whole anime trope of the friend's power, but it is a thing. If you have a reason to get up off the mat. For somebody who has nothing to lose, or for somebody who is only doing it for the accomplishments, the second things start to get tough, it becomes a lot more difficult to weather the storm. And I want to encourage people to connect with others. Because a lot of people I see, especially, there's this one Jordan Peterson quote that's thrown around all the time where it's like, man, you should be a monster. You know, boys are told that they should be docile and quiet and quell their competitive nature, but no, you should be a monster. And then you should learn how to control it. And I find a lot of people do not focus on that, and then you should learn how to control it. And this kind of ties into the video that I posted earlier this week, where it's like, when you become a monster, when you get there, it stops being about how can I become more of a monster, and it starts being how can I retain the humanity I have left. Everybody talks about the material aspect of the Sigma male, but some of the best Sigma male memes to me are the ones that acknowledge the emotional intelligence aspect of being a top tier male or a high value person. Because sure, you can bring a ton of money and status and everything else to the table, but at the end of the day, the vast majority of people, if you're a piece of shit person, will not want to be around you, or they will only want to be around you for your money. I think if you truly want to become a Sigma male, you truly want to be on your Sigma male grind set, a true Sigma male grind set would include time for your friends, for your family, for your loved ones. I don't think that the definition of a Sigma male is somebody who pushes everyone away for the sake of their goals. And yes, like I said, I sacrificed a lot for my goals, and I did end up sacrificing people for the sake of my goals. But there is a big distinction between what happened with me and the whole mentality I see promoted by the grind set, right? Or the hustle culture. And to me, those were a byproduct of me working hard. I had my priorities straight. I communicated what my priorities were. I did my best to be available, but I ultimately asked them also to be understanding with me that I won't be 100% of the time, and eventually became too much for those people and they left me. I didn't actively push people away so that I could focus more of my time, or so that I could be a better worker or a better boxer or a Sigma male or whatever. I didn't push people away. In fact, I actively did my best to keep those around me close to me as best I could, and only let people go when I needed to. And that comes with emotional intelligence, and that comes with developing your sense of dealing with people and your sense of connection, your empathy, and all of that. And I think that if you truly want to be an alpha male or a Sigma male or a top value person, because it's, again, this isn't necessarily gender specific. I say male because it's kind of the meme nowadays, but like I said, all this applies to women as well. And I've seen a lot of, even on TikTok scrolling, how a lot of women posting things like how to manipulate a man, or how to get yourself a man to do this, that, and the other thing, how to, elevate yourself by stepping on men. And again, it's just like, I think if you truly want to be a whole developed alpha person, circle, we are all circles. You need to not only develop your work ethic, but your ability to connect with people, because it's that ability to connect and hold on to those connections that will allow you to get through the difficult times and push forward in the future. In fact, now that I think about it, because again, boxing is a very competitive sport, there is a Hajime no Ippo episode that touches upon this, the type of person that pushes all of his connections aside and throws everything away, thinking it'll make him a better boxer. Maybe I could do a breakdown of that. Maybe I could give my thoughts on that episode and the message of that episode. Let me know in the comments if that would interest you, because I would be very happy to make it. And considering that a good portion, apparently due to the poll that I did on my community post, of you guys came from my Hajime no Ippo shorts, it might be a good way to introduce Ippo content, long form, into my channel. So yeah, leave your comments on that. But until that video comes out, those are just my thoughts on the matter. I would like to thank, speaking of connections, everybody who supports me on Patreon. Thank you so much. You guys mean the world. I would not be where I am without you guys, and it's because of you guys that I want to make these videos. Life is very hectic and it's hard sometimes to find time, but the fact that you guys are supporting me really encourages me to push through the difficulties and make content despite everything that's going on in my life. So again, I cannot thank you all enough. If you want to support me, all the ways to do so will be in the description. But until the next one, remember, only the strong subscribe. I am not dead yet, and if you are not either, there is always a tomorrow waiting for you.